Hi everyone, Beth here from the Byron Public Library, and today I'm going to walk you through the steps on how to create Valentine Oreo Truffles. So the only thing that makes these Valentine Oreo Truffles is the way we're going to decorate them, and in your kit you receive these little heart candies that we will be sprinkling on them. But actually this recipe can be used for any special occasion. There is so many different flavors of chips and so many varieties of Oreo cookies that there's a myriad of choices of things that you could create with this recipe. So to get started, let's go ahead and see what's inside the kit. So first I gave you a copy of the recipe, and then there is a piece of wax paper that we will be putting our truffles on after we've dipped them. Cream cheese, our sprinkles, and some cute little mini muffin cups that you can put them in if you're going to give them away as gifts. It's kind of nice to put them in something special. There's a bag with 2 Oreos, and then there is another bag with 9 Oreos, and then there is a bag of white chips. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I did a little bit ahead of time just to save time. And so let me go ahead and get you started. So first of all, I've already crumbled up the Oreos, the large bag with the 9 cookies in it. And I'm going to show you how I did it. There's a vast array of ways you can do it. So I used an actual roller, and I just kind of pounded them down and then rolled them out. The reason you have 2 separate bags is because this is going to be for garnish, if you want to garnish them, and this is actually for the truffles themselves. So you can use a meat tenderizer if you want. If you don't have a rolling pin, you can use a bottle of water or something that would roll over them. So you're just going to want to get them so that they're crushed pretty small. Pretty good. All right, so the other things that you'll be needing would be a bowl to mix your truffles in, a plate that you can put your ruffle balls on when you complete them before you dip them in chocolate. I use this to make my actual balls. You can use a spoon as well. I use this one. It's about 1.25 inches in diameter. A fork for when you're dipping, a spoon for when you're dipping, a butter knife for when you're dipping. You can tell the dipping is the hardest part. And then some toothpicks. Okay, so you're going to start out with your cream cheese. And this is just, I actually gave you the ingredients to make about 1/4 of this recipe. So you can, if you want to make a lot more, you can just continue to double or triple or quadruple your recipe. So what you want to do is you want to kind of smash up your cream cheese. If you have a pastry blender, that would work. I just kind of went with what almost everybody would have in their home, and that would be like forks. So I want to get that kind of smashed up a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my crumbs that I had previously crushed up. I do see that I have some larger ones in here, so I'm just going to take and put those in the bowl and then smash them up a little bit more with my fork so that they're fairly small crumbs. And then I'm going to, so it looks like this, and then I'm going to begin to stir in that cream cheese into the cookie crumbs. Now my cream cheese I didn't have standing out very long. I didn't want it to be too soft. It was probably standing out for maybe 5 or 10 minutes before I started this recipe. So you can do that as well, just to get a little bit softened, but not too much. And make sure you have a good mix with the cream cheese and the cookie crumbs so that it holds together when you make them into your balls. So of course, once these are made, you're going to want to keep them refrigerated since they have cream cheese in them before you either give them away as gifts or eating them. Makes a pretty firm dough. Show you after I've gotten this. So that's kind of what it looks like. It's just, you can tell it's pretty firm. Okay, so I'm not going to roll all of them out. I'm just going to do a sample here so that you have an idea of how the process works. So I'm going to go ahead and clean off my forks. Now, using this particular size for the balls, I was able to get 11 out of there. So if you make them a little bit smaller, you might get more. If you make them bigger, you might get less. So you just want to just scoop some in there. Like I said, you can do that with a spoon if you want. And you're going to just roll them into balls. Like that. I'll do a few of them just so you have an idea. Basically, it's a very simple recipe. The tricky part, of course, is getting them covered in chocolate. And I tried several different ways to do it, and so I will share with you my failures so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. So we have a few of these done. And so now we're going to go ahead and get started on the chocolate dipping part. So if you have a double boiler, that works extremely well. But since some of you don't, or you're not really quite sure how to use it, or you just prefer, I'm going to show you the microwave method. So I've taken some chips in this measuring cup. We found out this works pretty good for a size around. And I'm going to put them in the microwave and get them. In the meantime, though, I have this bowl that I have hot water in, and I'm going to put a measuring cup into that bowl to keep the chocolate softened while we create these. So I start out by giving it a minute to warm up, and then I do like 15-second increments because I don't want the chips to get too hard or burn them. So I found this works out extremely well. So we'll go ahead and do that. But yeah, so if you're thinking about it, you can do butterscotch chips, mint chocolate chip. You can do the Oreos that are dark chocolate or mint chocolate. So there's, like I said, there's a myriad of different ways that you could create your own truffles. And you can choose your favorite flavors and go that route. So we'll let this time down here, and then I'm going to give it a good stir, see where we're at with it. Everybody's microwave is different, so if yours is one that takes longer, you know, you might have to do it longer than I've done mine. So this is what it looks like right now. It's still kind of thick and not super. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back in for another, I'm going to do 20 seconds. Okay, that going. So, and you know, you can put them in cute little cups, or you can put, you know, like 3 in a bag, a little cellophane bag with a little ribbon or whatever. You can serve them up however you'd like to. They look really nice when you have them all done and you have them on a plate. Okay, let's check this out. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, this is definitely thinner, but I'd like it a little bit more, so I'm going to put it on for another 10 seconds. And then we will go ahead and do the dipping process. Now I tried doing it with a toothpick, putting it in there, dunking it in, and it fell off every time I tried it. So that didn't work. Just for a tip. I'm going to warm up this water a little bit more, just so it's nice and hot for when I use it. I tried to put it on a cooling rack and just kind of pour the chocolate over it, and that didn't work because it stuck to the cooling rack, and of course the bottom of it was a mess, so that didn't work. So those are 2 things that you maybe won't want to try. But this is what I have found to work the best, and it's what I would recommend you do for your dipping. Now there's a lot of different tools that you can purchase for dipping. They have different just kitchen utensils that are specifically for dipping, but I figured you wouldn't have those, so that's why I'm showing you how to do it this way. But if you have those, by all means use them, because it'll make your job a lot easier. So I'm just putting this in here, and what I like to do is I like to push the chocolate kind of off to the side and then put it in there, and then I take the spoon. Don't stir it. You just want to take your chocolate and put it over the top of it, because stirring it will definitely make it fall apart. All right, and then you're going to want to pull. I didn't stick the prongs in. That's all I did was put the fork underneath it and lift it up, and then I'm just gently hitting this to get some of that excess chocolate to drain off before I put it down. And slide it across there to, okay. Now, I'm going to slide my wax paper over here so I can show you how to take it off. Toothpicks work well. It doesn't have a lot of, you can just kind of slide it underneath there and put it on the paper. Now there is excess chocolate around here, but you're not going to have to worry about that. Once it dries, it won't be a part of your truffle. And then this is when I do like to put my sprinkles on, when it's still pretty warm and you can, it'll adhere. So this one I'm going to just put some of my crumbs on. Then I'm going to do another one with you. Okay, stir this up some more. Again, I'm going to drop my truffle in there. And like I said, just take and pour it over your truffle. Do not stir the truffle up. I did that, and my truffle was in pieces inside the melted chocolate. So, okay, trying to get that. There we go. Okay, again. I'm just slightly tapping it here and getting off the excess chocolate. little bit time consuming, but as I said, really very easy. I'm going to use a new toothpick to draw this off since the other one already has chocolate on it. And this one I'm going to go ahead and put some candy hearts on. That definitely makes it look like Valentine. Again. Now, sometimes the chocolate will get too cool, and then you're going to have to put it back in the microwave to warm it up. So it's really good to have it nice and warm because it's nice and thin then. The other thing is I thought, oh, maybe it would be helpful if I put the truffles after I made them in the refrigerator. So I did that, but when I put them in the warm chocolate then, the chocolate cracked. It was too cool of a temperature, and so that wasn't effective. So it was called trial and error. But my family didn't mind. They enjoyed all the creations, even if they weren't so pretty or it didn't turn out very well. They said the recipe was good. So this one I'm going to decorate with both chocolate and with the hearts. A little bit of a variety there. Okay. These are it's probably a little too early to be picking these up off of here, but I'm going to just go ahead and put one in here again without making too big a mess. Yeah, it was too early, but you can see how nice that looks. Little Valentine treat. And so that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoy making these and giving them as gifts. Thanks for joining me.